It was a hot vacation down in FLA. The fam from Cincinnati came to chill and play. Mom, Dad, 2 bros and a sister in tow, checking in the condo, ready for the show. They hit the beach, all sun and sand. Little did they know there was a storm at hand. Turned on the news and the skies turned gray. They heard the weatherman shout, "A hurricane's on the way."
That's crazy.
Because we really did do that.
Thanks for tuning into the ReMinders podcast. What you just saw there was a clip from the episode where my dad is calling upon ChatGPT to write him a rap about our, at the time, current situation being in Florida. The week of Hurricane Helene. This episode was recorded on the Thursday that it was forecast that hurricane would hit, and we were all down in Florida at the time, in Fort Walton Beach, and we weren't expecting anything horrific, but we were expecting at least like torrential downpour, thunderstorm, and we lucked out so graciously. It was cloudy, rained like maybe 2 hours throughout the day. The waves from the ocean were quite active, especially compared to how they were. They were pretty chill throughout the week. Anyway, we talked about that in the episode. But yeah, we really lucked out, and it was really odd and wildly ironic that people back home in Ohio got affected more than we did in Florida. So yeah, not to make light of what's been going on in the country or in the world or in our local communities. There's a lot of stuff hitting the fan, no doubt about it. I'm taking a little break from the chaos and constant laboring I've been doing to clear out the house. Kara and I are selling the house. We've got like 2 days to be moved out. So I've been doing that all week on top of lots of other craziness going on in life, which we don't need to get into in the intro of this podcast. But thought I would take a little break and record a short intro for this podcast. Just a bit of levity for the crazy week that has been in my life. I do feel like this upcoming week is going to be a lot better. I'm trying to kick it off right. Today's Sunday. Got 2 days to finish clearing the house, and then we're moving. New chapter. Yeah, the last 3 weeks have been wild. This was, I guess, 3 weeks ago when we were in Florida. It was a very heavenly vibe. Like, we just a family down there, enjoying the beach, enjoying the sun. Kind of wild in the grand scheme, you know. The duality at play has been very, very evident to me. So I got to be on the positive side of that duality a few weeks ago, and then I spent 3 nights in New Orleans after this was recorded. We talk a bit about my intentions for that, and that was a good time, but definitely felt like more of a purgatory type of vibe. Like, it felt like I was really coming to terms with how my energy and actions will result in what I experience. And when you're traveling solo and you're just in your own energy plus the energy of whatever area you're visiting, yeah, it was wild. I'll reflect on that another time. And then getting home and like just immediately getting to the airport in New Orleans for my flight back to Cincinnati. It's like getting my phone for, spend some significant time and attention in my phone for the first time in a week or whatever. And it was just immediately like seeing all the things that I'm supposed to be getting depressed about and, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, this past week was pretty hellish. So, definitely a reminder to really ground and center into the non-dual perspective, to be a witness to this dream of a reality, and not so attached to a preference of things being on one polarity or the other, recognizing that is what life on earth is. It's the ups and downs. It's the this and that. And I think one of the secrets and keys for feeling fulfillment and a life of, I don't know if ease is the right word, but of joy and satisfaction is to like find that middle ground between the extremes and to be able to tune into the witnessing stillness that's present in all moments, whether or not the moments contain our egos freaking out in a good way or in a bad way. So all that said, we got into a nice, I really enjoyed the meditation we started with. So I got a little 5-minute grounding meditation on that note to sink into the moment and get present. And then just got a real silly episode with my family. It's the first time I did a podcast with more than 3 or 4 people. So, it had a little bit of forethought, because when it's just me and another person, it's easy to just have an organic conversation. I thought it would be maybe helpful to have a prompt. So I asked everyone to think of a question that they would want to perhaps pose to the group. And we just ended up focusing on the one that my little brother, Jacob, posed. So that's how we start out after the meditation. All right, let's ground on in. Make sure you're finding a nice, comfortable sitting spot. And just bring your awareness back inside yourself through some conscious breathing. You can close your eyes. Just noticing the sensations. Breathing in. Holding it a bit before letting it back out. Holding it at the end of the exhale. Just noticing that gap, that emptiness before bringing in another inhalation. Repeat that cycle and just keep coming back to your breath. Mind's going to start chattering about some nonsense. I'm just going to bring it back. Bring it back. Now watch yourself bring it forward. Feeling the sensations of your feet, your hands, wherever they're being. And just notice what's here, without judgment, without preference. Just witnessing what's present, allowing it to be as it is. Still coming back to the breath again and again. And let's use this moment to feel into our heart center and feel the gratitude for all the beautiful things that we've experienced this week, this month, this summer, this year. Let's project that gratitude into the future to bring more experiences of safety and security and excitement and gratitude. To feel that whatever happens, that we're safe and always held by the present moment. Whatever dream an experience is arising in it. We're always held in the present moment. So let's charge it up with some gratitude, some joy. If we can stabilize that as a baseline, then everything else that happens just a little bonus on top. So let's come back into the space. If you had your eyes closed, feel free to open them up. Let's have a little bonus conversation on top of that. A little grounding check-in.
I was wondering if there was any, like, thing anyone wishes they either have done in the past or wish they could do in the future. I guess aspirations that, like, either haven't been met or something you've thought about that maybe you think you could be good at, or just something you're interested in that you'd like to do still.
So are you inquiring about extracurriculars,
Kinda.
little side quests that we're
Yeah.
interested in? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everybody has main quests, things that we want to do.
Yeah, it's more
Sure.
sacrifice.
Okay. I'd like to skydive at some point.
Yeah.
I'd also like to learn how to surf.
There's some guys surfing out this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one guy surfing after me and Jacob got asked to get out of the water.
Yeah.
Wait,
We were
what?
just walking in the water. Well, they had the double flags out on the beach today.
The double red
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
It was there.
Where was it when we were there?
Where do they put them?
I didn't
It's
know about
like-
the flag situation at all.
Yeah, it's.
There's a sign when you walk up the little.
You know, I don't read those.
I read them, but I didn't. In fact, I looked. Where do they put them? But
Jacob
you weren't in the water.
I wasn't at the time. Then me and Jacob were walking just along the beach, just with our toes in the water, and some lady came up on a four-wheeler and just said that they were on the watch or whatever. And
Did you ask her? Did she see the guy? 3 guys surfing and tell
No,
them
I
to get
didn't tattle on them.
Yeah. Well, there was a
Just
lot
don't
of
go out there
people.
surfing.
Like
I don't know, there was
paddleboarding,
surfing.
or that's what that's called.
There
right?
was one person far out in there that wasn't surfing or anything. I just saw them out there.
Swimming?
Like, yeah, they're
Whoa.
far out though. So I don't know,
Yeah.
like, if there's, not
Where
wanting
was
to
the house
drive
that was
there.
still there?
I don't know. Yeah. So I was wondering if they have like a little mini boat that they can take out there to go check on people. Like,
I mean, that's dangerous with the riptide.
Yeah.
As they call it.
right.
But there was it was like a decent amount of people, like
Yeah.
surf.
I mean, I'm now kicking myself for not getting in before you got there because people were in for a while.
Yeah, but the
waves
waves
were finally really active.
Yeah.
And they were pretty happening yesterday, but they were very active today. Things blowing in.
Where would you want to go to surf? Like Hawaii or?
Yeah, anywhere. Hawaii would be nice.
Why would we?
Yeah, I do feel some calling to Hawaii just because I know people that stay out there. And we have some community out there.
Do you know anything about it?
Hawaii or
Like,
surfing?
how to surf?
I just, I think it was the trip I went to South Carolina with Kara's family, Karen Coleman and stuff, and we were just, having the beach experience, especially at night. There's something really mystical about being on a beach, I think at night in particular. It's like you were talking about like the threshold of sight during the day of the horizon and stuff, that, obviously there's a limit to how far we can see and stuff, where distance just comes collapsed into a singularity point of just like a line, right?
Yeah.
But at night it's just like a big blurred line that's much closer.
Yeah.
And just makes me feel like being on the edge of the earth, like on a threshold of something mystical. And I just have this feeling that learning to surf those waves just feels symbolic and like a way of
Connecting.
or just connecting with that mysterious pattern that happens in a way of like not, I don't know, I guess it's in some way like an aspect of control, like learning to like not control the waves but learn how to surf on them, you know, the waves of life and whatever, and like being able to like find that flow intentionally. I feel like there would be a lot of lessons in that, and it just sounds like a cool thing.
I was thinking about like whoever invented surfing. It's just kind of funny that they looked at the big wave and they're like, I'm gonna get on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a big piece of wood and jump on that.
It may have come out of being in a boat and it starts coming apart, and then next thing you know, you have to surf to stay alive.
Maybe.
And then he's like, I'm going to capitalize on this and make some boards.
Could be. I don't know. He was probably just trying to catch the wave. You go out there and you jump around with them, you know, just the next natural progression. Think how good. Anyway, that's mine. Anybody else? Side quest, Colin? Anybody? Skydiving too just feels like the opposite of that, you know, like
Complete release of control.
Would you ever do that?
Big time.
No.
Never?
Afraid
Skydive?
of heights.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see myself doing that now.
Do you think doing that would conquer your fear of heights?
No, I'm not really afraid of heights, I just don't like them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any desire to do that, you know. It doesn't really
you've never had
appeal
an
to me.
appeal for it.
Yeah. Or even watching people do it, just kind of like.
I think
But
it'd be
I
fun.
do like watching people like surfing or skating. I mean, I don't really have any desire to learn to do it myself, but especially skating, I think it's cool. You know, like when they do those little.
Yeah.
Remember when where were we in California, and we just for about like a half hour we decided we were at the skate park and we just watched these kids skating, and because it was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
they were so good too.
Yeah.
And anyway.
Was it just like a public, like, local?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was like a big. It
On a
was
boardwalk.
what was that place called? Venice Beach or something?
Yeah, Venice Beach.
Oh, it wasn't a skate park.
It was.
It
It
was
had
skate
park
parks.
in Venice
Yeah, it
Beach.
had street sales. It was huge. But so one part of it, there was like 2 or 3 of those little like scoopy things where the kids skate, and then some of them were like going from this scoopy thing over to the next one. And,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
And just seeing people having fun is always nice. Helps you connect to fun when you see people genuinely enjoying themselves. They don't
Yeah,
crash. It's a little.
Shannon and I ever get on The Amazing Race, we might have to do like a skydive type thing or such. So I'd definitely be willing to do it.
That's a side quest that Dad wants in his life.
Oh, that's not what my answer was going to be to Jacob's question, but it would be a dream if Shannon and I.
What is that, like a
We would have to-
triathlon or something?
No, it's
It's just whatever. It's
pairs
not
of
the same
people
thing
and travel.
every time.
Is that show still airing? Why don't you guys sign up to it? What's the?
You might have to sub in. I don't think Shannon has any interest.
No,
Discuss.
I'd be interested. I'm just out of shape.
Yeah, we would have to
You're
prepare
like
and
running
look
the
out
whole
for it.
time. You're
Really?
running or doing like other very strenuous
Yeah,
activities,
yeah, it's
and it's
very
like all
physical.
day. Like imagine even like traveling is very strenuous. But on top of that, you're like doing challenges,
Right.
but you're like running to the next one because you're trying not to be the last person to get to the.
But we would work. We would prepare for it. Maybe we should go ahead, 'cause especially since you're an expert at creating videos to so that because we have to submit a video to get on the show.
I think
What kind of
that
video?
just
Just
like
a
a
audition?
This is who we are.
I can help record it, but I think you would be the star of it. Like I think you're the reason that they would
Let's have a
choose.
challenge.
Yeah.
We could just make like a Reading Rainbow style video.
Should we cut in the episode do a little flashback to that scene so everyone knows what you're talking about?
Right now?
Or should we just reenact it now? It's not even one of the funnier family videos, to be honest.
The reading radio. Shit, were you alive then, Shane? I thought that was.
Yeah, I'm in the
Yeah, she's the
video
one that
'cause-
gets flown across the room. No, I'm the one crying in the corner,
No, you were
No.
laughing, and then
Crying
you got
in-
in trouble for laughing.
mid-frame.
I said, yeah, Sean, just do it. And then you're like, shut. Or no, I think either Sean told me to shut or you did.
Let's
no,
say
it
it's
was
me.
Sean.
Let's
but
say it was me.
That,
But
isn't
he-
that a deleted scene?
No, I think.
Yeah, I didn't make it to the.
Roll the deleted scene.
No, I don't think he probably said shut up. He was probably like, trying to like shush him.
Anyway.
You should actually.
Well, if you guys want to get on that show, I would say first step is deciding that you want to do it. Like really.
Yeah, do you?
Because then you would do the
Training.
the training.
Shannon?
You know.
It'd probably take a year training.
I'm getting like a hesitant nod from you.
I think we could do it. Shannon might down
I just
somebody.
also I'm a little weary. You know how weary I am about like reality shows, and I don't want to be like edited in a weird way, or like I don't want our inevitable
just
fights
weird.
to be like streamed on TV.
We should be ourselves.
Then maybe we should make our own. You guys can make your own little web series where you do like, you could like start events, and it could be like
Interesting.
lower scale.
We
like
could
that.
start lower scale. I think there's some cities that it might even be in Cincinnati that do like
They do like
city
little
amazing
Oh, that's
races.
right.
amazing
Yeah.
races.
Oh yeah, that would be a nice.
So we could,
if you
I mean,
want
it's not gonna be the same thing
Well, we
Yeah,
could,
because the whole
that
point
could
of
be our
Amazing Race
training.
is get to travel.
But
the
that
world.
could be like a practice.
We could like
Yeah.
road trip to the nearest place that's doing that. That's
Sure.
a nice.
All right, that's our bucket list. We're putting it
Nice. Good job. Side quest accepted.
on. Okay.
What was your official, or what was the other thing you were thinking of?
I was just gonna say, I wish I was better at photography. I mean,
You
obviously
mean
people
put more
think,
focus into it because you
people
are.
think I take.
skilled.
Well, people think I take a bunch of pictures that I'm really good at photography, but I'm not a photographer. I just take a lot of pictures. I wish I had learned it better so that I could make it not necessarily a profession like wedding photography or stuff, but so I could really do it well and
To the point where like you know how to like frame it and the dimensions,
framing
stuff
or
like
the
that.
even the stops and focusing and getting
Is that even
things.
as relevant anymore?
Yeah,
It's
especially
really
for
busy.
professional photography.
Yeah.
Like point focus, focal length, and like. Yeah,
So-
I think that is.
I wish I had done more of that, and I mean I love teaching and being in education, but that could have if I had a side job or hobby, that would have been what I would have I think liked to have done.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point when we were talking a couple days ago when I wrote to Chicago, that my whole point was to take pictures and come back and show my students and so if I was more of a photographer I would I mean I have pictures from it, but that's just something that I wish I could have done.
Well,
What about a master? You still can.
Yeah.
What about like one of those masterclass videos?
yeah, I was gonna say
Like
I
an
also
online-
would be willing to assist you in that endeavor because that's what like I've a lot I could say about this, but like that is something that like photography or film would be something that would like I think I could do like as a monetary like career endeavor, like more so than creative, like I obviously music is a big thing, but that is a big like creative outlet for me, and I like can recognize the importance of separating like career outlet and creative outlet, but that is something that I am like thinking about making like a career outlet so as to not burn out my creative.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of what's funny about like, the industry effect on all of these different creative outlets. It's like it's one thing, you guys remember when I enjoyed photography for those 2 years or whatever, and I wasn't taking pictures of people, it was nothing that would have been like marketable other than to appeal to someone's taste, you know. Whoops, thanks.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's just kind of weird when we enjoy doing something because we enjoy doing it, and then we try to make money from it, and then we're like, oh, how could I leverage this to be something that's marketable, you know?
Yeah.
So taking pictures of people and at events, you know, that's a different type of skill set within photography, even though it's the same field, you know? And then you could be really good at taking pictures of people candidly or intentionally, but then maybe don't have the social skills to, like, you know,
Yes.
all right, you know, it's a whole
Big
whole
part
thing.
of it, yeah.
You know?
Especially for like events and stuff.
Yeah.
Like our cousin Stevie, shout out Stevie.
Right, I was just thinking about her too.
She's so good at like
all of the aspects of
yes,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
mastered like all of it.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, it's great for the people that it works out for, who have naturally those skill sets or are interested in practicing those skill sets, you know. But yeah, it just kind of like begs the question of like, I don't know. I think that especially in my and your generation, that there's this like, oh, you can be whatever you want to be type of mentality, and then all of us are like, oh, cool, I want to like be an artist then, you know, that one sounds like it doesn't suck, let's do that, you know. And then it's like, well, how can we all be artists?
Yeah.
You know.
Even though we all are.
Yeah, but how can we all
Live.
get paid to be
Yeah.
expressive, you know? And it's kind of sad too that, or it's remarkable that the dawn of our commercial access to AI, you know, that, because I mean, if we have access to AI, who knows how long it's actually been around, you know? But that the way we're seeing it is like, oh, cool, AI is writing screenplays and music. Like, wouldn't it be cool if AI maybe like, I don't know,
Cure
took out-
cancer.
Yeah, or like took out the garbage or something, you know,
Yeah.
like did some of the jobs that people don't want to do, but instead we've got AI being the artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing, but anyway.
Which is weird. It's really frustrating, and especially with
Yeah.
like so many writers specifically, like losing their jobs to that is very frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was thinking when you were talking about photography. And I said, is it relevant? I was thinking like, well, certainly there's some AI algorithm that can perfect the aperture and all the things and on the fly, and I'm sure that technology's there, you know, just like it is in any field. We were playing video games last night or whatever, and I was thinking, you know, used to take, or currently I guess, you know, like the Final Fantasy remakes take like, you know, 5-10 plus years to do one game. It's like,
Seriously?
I wonder, yeah, like in the 90s.
To complete it?
Oh, I think
To get it
To make
released, yeah.
the game.
Oh, I think
create
meant
the
to
game.
play the game.
Oh no.
It's like,
No, I'm talking about like
It's 10 years.
creating video games, creating movies or whatever, you know, but specifically with video games, like, you know, I mean the games you guys grew up playing in the arcade, like, you know, very simple 2D things that could be made in, you know, whatever. In the 90s, the Final Fantasies or whatever, like a whole game could be popped out in a single year. And now, like, there are basically many movies, interactive movies, that have such depth and detail, so it takes a long time for people to program it. So I was thinking, like, God, there's got to be, like, AI doing this now, right? It's like, I don't know. Anyway.
yeah. Or like a version of it. Or it's just everything's digitally different,
Yeah.
even when it comes to like animating movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've perfected it so much that they can create an algorithm for themselves to make it faster
Right.
or easier.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. Anyway, we could go down that rabbit hole. That's probably not the vibe. Unless anyone has any thoughts on AI they want to throw in.
I mean, it's very fast technology that's, you know, growing exponentially.
Yeah.
You know, more as we move along, but it still has a lot of, you know, work to do. If you go and any of those programs and ask it, you know, to create a picture of something, then you're still getting sometimes. And maybe it's because I use all the free versions.
Right. That's what I'm.
Because I really don't want to pay for all that. But, you're still getting...
They don't know how to make hands usually.
Yeah, 4, 5 finger or 6 finger hands and things that are
Mhm.
just weird that you can tell. But obviously, with all those what they call deep fakes and stuff, that it can be done. So
And that's been around for years.
Yeah.
Deepfakes and stuff like that. And I mean, even the create an image or whatever. Like you said, exponential. Like a year ago, it was more clunky than it is now, and
Right.
it is very fast moving. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I think the weird thing about people being afraid of AI and stuff is just that we all go to what stories have been told that we iRobot, the Terminator. There are all these dystopian stories that get people thinking that robots are going to come treat us the way we treat ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Enslave us and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's really kind of wild because it just feels like a psychological, like, that we don't trust ourselves, so we don't trust what we create, kind of thing.
Yeah. But what I was thinking about when we were talking about it in connection to creativity, like, it's such a weird thing to think about because we created it and then it creates something that we're asking it to create.
Yeah.
Like, is that considered creativity? Even though, like, it's making it based on an algorithm, but all of that algorithm is something that we've all, like, all the information that it knows is like human research information.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to think about that part of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's an algorithm, and it's not literally a human making something in that moment, but it's like a collection of everything that we've already produced as humans.
Yeah. And that's why like as writer, like not scary, but like the like gross part of it, like replacing writers is that like it's not innovating, it's just regurgitating.
Yeah,
but a lot
so
of
are a lot of
writers.
Right.
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah.
But that's not what. That's like I feel like that happens a lot based off of when it becomes like commercially, like driven, which our world is commercially driven. But like, when you start like just like laying people off because like you have this machine that can do it better or quicker and less expensively, like it's just it's frustrating. It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you think of someone like Stephen King, who's written, I think some thousands of things that he's written, from short stories to books and stuff. And do you think
Do you think he's AI?
or did he? I'm sure he hasn't because he's
What, ghostwriters? Is that what we're gonna?
No, or if he, I don't think this at all because I'm sure he's
Let's hear it.
a very good. I know he's very good.
Shout out to
People
King.
love what he writes. But I wonder if some of because he's still publishing things. I wonder if the last one he published, if he said,
Oh,
"Hey,
it's just
ChatGPT,
using-
write a book in the style of Stephen
King.
King with this,
But
and
that's
this,
what I'm
and
saying. It's like, well, he
Did he?
created all of that. If you put all of his own writing into a giant computer, and then it spits out another version of,
right.
but it's using the clues of his style.
Right.
That's just kind of interesting.
So that's
Like, is that considered? Would that be considered one of his works if he did that? Do you think?
yeah, because so far from what I can tell, ChatGPT's not, or anything of those like that. They're, you're not plagiarizing if, obviously if a student came in, turned in an essay and said, "I wrote this," that's not right, and he can't do that. But having ChatGPT or something else like that write something, and you say it wrote it, I think they've talked about the legality of who owns it. Like, is it really yours since you had ChatGPT do it, or does it belong to
But it
the
was your
AI?
ideas and your thoughts that you feed to the chat BTA.
But technically, you can I
Kind
think I've
of.
seen examples of where it's written an entire book. Like it's written a book.
Yeah.
And you can also say in the style of a college student who doesn't have the best grammar or whatever.
Right. Yeah, but I
But
mean,
you
it's
can
still
tell it
your,
to do that.
if it's still your creation in your head that you fed those ideas to it,
But that's not where it's
and
getting
then
its
producing
resources
it. So
from.
it's basically like, you make a pot of stew and you use, like a blender or something like that. Like you're putting your recipe into something, and it's still yours.
Well, that sounds more like using a typewriter or Word, Microsoft Word, to put in the ingredients of your thoughts and your words. But this is more like a genie. Like, hey genie, can you come up with a recipe and make it for me? It's closer to that. You're just prompting something to be created. You're not really putting your thoughts into. Maybe you can make it a little bit more specific. I want you to include these certain ingredients, but like it really is kind of like putting it together. It's drawing. Its thoughts aren't necessarily what we're putting into it. We're asking it to assemble thoughts. It's drawing on, like Shannon said, this vast network of essentially everything that's on the internet.
Right,
Everything
right,
humans have
and
ever
everybody's-
documented.
yeah.
So it is a little different. I mean, I see your point, and I think that's where like the innovation does come in, Jacob. It's like that. Yeah, the AI, the robots aren't necessarily going to be innovators because that's not what they're designed to do yet. Maybe, or I don't know anything, but from what I can see, they're replicators. So I think that is where our human creativity still has a space, is the tiny sliver of like innovation of how do we get it to do its job, But I think what's interesting about this is like pulling at the threads of like, why do people feel threatened by AI, and where is it really going? Because I think people are just kind of jump cutting to this nightmare idea that like humanity's cooked. We've gone too far. Our technology is going to eat us,
Yeah.
And but then on a different level too, it's like it's bringing up like this idea of originality, which is kind of interesting because you guys remember one of my favorite bands, Dream Theater, right?
Oh yeah.
I was big into them,
You were?
real big into them.
And Vince, I think Vince was too.
Yeah, Vince got me into them, and
Shout out Vince.
shout out Vince. And I had like a feeling of betrayal when I was very young. I was like in 5th grade, 6th grade, or whatever, 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever. And when I was obsessed with them, and then I realized one of their albums came out, and it was like every song had all of these different things that they like ripped off from other people. And so it was my first exposure to realizing that like artists aren't getting direct access to like some genius original creativity. That's not what art is.
They did it on purpose, or
Actually, a lot of times, yeah, they kind of are just like wear their influences on their sleeves and just do it more technical, because that's kind of their thing, is that they're like circus musicians and their technicality.
Who were their influences? Just curious.
I mean, it's progressive metal, so all the progressive cats and basically everyone, But there was a lot of Muse on that particular album. That got me into Muse.
Yeah.
Was literally them being ripped off by Dream Theater.
Octari, was
Yeah,
it
at the very
Octarian
end.
or something?
Yeah, that's funny you know that. Why do you know that?
What?
Why do you
He's
know
a big
that or
fan.
remember that?
I still have them on my, because you had CDs of it, so that's on my Apple stuff.
Oh, it's just funny. That's the particular album that I was referring to. There's one song that sounded like identical to U2, just whatever. So anyway, I was like really disturbed by that, and like blah 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 blah. But then as I've matured and realized, Led Zeppelin, my other favorite band, how much stuff they stole from, and that's a little bit more problematic if you ask me, because it was like specifically black artists and blues artists and stuff that didn't have the benefit of, looking like the people that have power and access to resources and studios and all this
I
stuff.
remember
Like,
the show, I don't know if you,
you showed me that. Yeah.
that talked about artists that borrow or take from other artists without giving them credit, and a lot of it were black musicians. But
Shout out Taylor Swift stealing What was the
I think
big
that's
one
what
that
it
we were
was, wasn't
watching?
it?
Well, that's they start with that, but then they went into the whole.
Yeah.
That's not just. It wasn't just Taylor Swift and her argument with whoever the artist was.
Yeah.
It was like they gave tons of examples of it. So.
Yeah. So it's like, and we could, discuss the social tensions or like problematic aspects of that, but like going deeper is like, well, what is original? Like, is anything original?
Yeah.
Why do we believe that we're separate from the source of creativity? Like, why do we put, you know what I mean?
Deception.
And I think those are like kind of becoming outdated ways of humans to operate. This idea that like that we see ourselves as separate from the rest of the community, from the rest of the family, from the rest of existence. Whatever, fearing the outside world. And I think it's just because we've grown up in these little fish bowls that we're afraid of the ocean, because we haven't spent time in the ocean, even though our ancestors spent most of our ancestry has been spent in the wild, like actually orienting themselves to the earth, but we've like put ourselves in these little cages, so we don't know how to survive out there anymore. So it's just, anyway, there's all different angles on how we've like expressed that misapprehension of like, I think it's just ego.
Yeah.
Just the idea of like being self-serving, self-centered versus recognizing like the connections, And with AI like stealing our jobs, it's just like, why is jobs a thing that we are like attaching value to? It's because it's how we make our security coins. But if we were taking care of each other and if we were guaranteed survival, we wouldn't need security coins and money to to feel grounded and secure. So I don't know, I think that all of these things are being asked to be upgraded.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I asked, just for fun, our friend, the man, ChatGPT, I'm just kidding, write me a rap about hurricanes in Florida and a family of 5, mom, dad, 2 brothers and a sister, trapped in a condo while on vacation. They are from Cincinnati, Ohio, make it in the style of the Sugar Hill Gang.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Let's see what we get. Hurricane Hustle.
Hold on, we'll give you a beat.
Okay, sure.
What kind of beat is that song?
I said a hip hop.
Oh, that song?
No, that's a left.
Get it right, Shannon.
Shit, what did you
It's,
say?
I said a hip hop, hip it to the hip hop, you don't stop, rock to the bang bang, boogie to up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear is not a test, I'm rapping to the beat, and me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet.
Don't forget about your script.
So here we go. I don't know if I can do it that way, but
Should we take it down a few?
Hurricane Hustle. It was a hot vacation down in FLA. The fam from Cincinnati came to chill and play. Mom, dad, 2 bros and a sister in tow, checking in the condo, ready for the show. They hit the beach, all sun and sand. Little did they know there was a storm at hand. Turned on the news and the skies turned gray. They heard the weatherman shout, "A hurricane's on the way."
That's crazy.
Because we really did do that.
Pre-chorus. So they locked it down, got the windows tight. The wind started howling. It was gonna be a night, but they kept it cool through the lightning flash. Cause when you're from Ohio, you ain't afraid to clash.
To clash?
To clash. Chorus.
Okay.
Hurricane, bringing the storm. But this family of 5 is gonna stay warm. From Cincinnati to Florida, they're holding strong, doing the hurricane hustle all night long. And then verse 2, and it goes on. Verse 3, yeah. So I mean, I could keep singing. And there's an outro.
So you can publish that right now. As
Yeah, I could. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
Do I say I wrote it? Do I? That's what. It's just funny about it. It's just interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Mom's in the kitchen whipping up a snack. Dad's on the phone trying to get the facts. The brother,
Oh, wait, this is actually. No way.
Ugh.
Are you serious?
the brother's playing cards, laughing at the scene while sister's on the tablet watching something clean.
That part's not true, but yeah.
But outside, man, the storm was wild. Palm trees bent like they gone out of style. The rain came down, thunder boomed like bass. Or bass. Sorry. But inside that condo, they found their space.
Does the same thing about construction men?
But I can do that. You could, so then you go in and tell it to at this part, this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of this.
Say the sister is
Not watching
21, not a
something.
little
I'm
kid.
24.
What I said?
21.
I mean, I wasn't trying to say that. I was saying grown up. not a little girl, because it says you on your tablet. That sounds like you're a little kid.
Right.
Oh my.
And it would adjust it and make it.
Make the little tablet
Song of
girl
the
white
summer.
though.
I was gonna say,
Here we
make
go.
the tablet a bottle of wine.
This is for us. This is for us for Friday or Saturday morning, because that's after the hurricane, whatever, he hit the bend. By morning, the sky was clear and blue. The storm had passed. They made it through. Mom and Dad smiled, gave a high five. The kids all cheered, feeling so alive. They hit the beach again with the sand so bright. Hurricanes can't stop this Ohio might. They came to Florida for some fun in the sun, and even through the storm, they got it done.
Wowie.
Interesting that it said that we should do it, the hurricane hustle inside, because I was telling Jacob that we should do the moves from OA to make the hurricane go away.
Bar.
Which is basically what I did in my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. Weird.
Where'd you come in contact with the song, Dad? Rapper's Delight? And what?
And
is there
I think I got an album and
like a vinyl?
Yeah.
Wasn't it your older brothers?
Do you have it still?
I think it was I have that. No, I think T gave it to me.
Okay.
My sister.
Shout out to you.
And I don't know. I just listened to it a lot and learned
Yeah,
it.
a lot of people memorize that song. That's classic.
That song specifically?
Yeah. I'd say so.
You can do it. You can do it. Okay.
I could if I had
Said it
interest
hip,
in it.
hop, hip,
Alright.
hip.
Oh, goodness.
Did you say your side quest?
And it's from repetition,
Yeah.
I mean,
just like the Lord's Prayer. Say it every
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah. I mean,
I
yeah.
mean, the fact that I still remember that from, it's not like I sing it every day. It's from when I was 12, 13, 14.
Those
I can
grooves
so-
are
That's what I was
deep
telling
in the
kids
brain.
at fifth grade class the other day. Just the same thing with your times tables. I know my timetables because I learned them in fourth grade, and I've remembered them since then. It's not like I'm practicing them every day. You just know them.
It's a lot easier if you have like a motivation that you feel emotionally tied to. Just trying to memorize random facts for school isn't a huge motivation for a lot of people, I would say. But like, I will learn a song a day or two before doing a performance and be able to memorize the lyrics because I've practiced doing that so much that I have worked on the scale of memorizing lyrics. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, yeah. Oh, that's done.
Or the fact that it's music too. I think that helps. Like
Yeah.
the preamble to the Constitution. I know from
So do I. Let's do it.
Cool Ass Rock.
We the people.
in order to form a more perfect
just
union,
kidding. I know
establish
too.
justice, secure domestic tranquility.
You guys gotta get this
Provide
video
for
copyright flag.
Yeah, I think that's over the limit.
That was from Schoolhouse Rock, but you don't have to say that.
which
Credit.
t-shirt she
Shout out
was
to
wearing
me.
yesterday?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Your t-shirt game lately has been great. I like your Soul Echo shirt.
Yeah, that was a throwback. Mom, did you have a side quest you wanted us to speak on?
Nothing's come to my mind.
Well, you talk about travel.
Yeah, I was
Like
gonna-
any particular place you always wanted to travel to that I can still take you?
Well, I already mentioned this, but there's a lot of places I'd like to travel to. All
Like?
of Europe, for one thing. Australia, Africa, South Africa. Lots of places.
Why south?
I don't know. I think it'd be fun. And, lots of places to travel that I'd like to do. But
What do you guys find valuable about travel? Or appealing?
I don't know, just like seeing how other people live their everyday life, just like even down here, like the waitresses and stuff, we're here on vacation, temporary, but that's their job day in and day out, and they do it from a different place, than we do. So anyway, and you get to meet people from different areas, and they're usually friendly, and usually when you're traveling, you come across people in good moods. You're in a good mood because you're, on vacation. So, yeah.
Just a novelty, seeing something different.
Right, yeah. Going
Yeah.
places, yeah. There's always, plenty to learn that you didn't know.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And being together, like when we are traveling together, just us two, or when we travel with your family to places. But as we're getting older, we want to, travel more, and when we retire, we might, get an RV or an attachment RV, and
Be fun.
That would be.
Well, I was just thinking of a side quest, which is kind of the opposite of what you just said, is I kind of want to do like a solo trip sometime in the next couple years maybe.
solo by yourself.
That's what Mom said when I said that. Do you guys not know what that word means?
No, it's just your little, your little kids, and thinking about you traveling by yourself.
Yeah, I'm 21. Jacob's 12. Just because, like, I like the reason that it's so easy and fun to go on vacation with you guys is because you guys make all the plans usually, or like I know that there's gonna be, even if we're doing nothing, it's still like, well, at least I have someone to talk to. I don't have to like force myself to meet a stranger and entertain myself. And you guys just like usually lay out at least some sort of plan and pay for it. And so it would just be like, I think a good challenge for me to do that myself.
Yeah.
And I like being independent. Or I fuel off of that, I would say. But it still like would be really hard for me.
Right.
Yeah.
How long did you picture yourself solo traveling for?
I haven't pictured it until Sean asked us last night if we've ever solo traveled. I asked them if they've ever solo traveled. I haven't really wanted to do that necessarily.
Yeah.
Or thought of it as an option, really.
I don't think that. I mean, my whole life I've been around people. I've never always had a big family. I always, immediately had kids and had another big family. So doing stuff that I think is fun has always included people. So I don't know. I can't imagine, other than a work trip where you're still, you're basically by yourself, but you're there to do a job. You're not there to entertain yourself all day. Mm-hmm. Where you would, I don't know. I think that would be a hard thing to do. I mean, to me, it would be so different than anything I've ever done that I don't know that it would, I don't know. Something that's never even entered my mind to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking about it a couple days ago about how like sometimes vacation, it's like I want to experience it in a different way other than with my family, because I feel like there's just a particular vibe that comes with when you're with your family, and I also feel like I have a certain like personality, or like when people like code switch or whatever, like I have one for my family that just automatically happens. So it'd be interesting to like changing your, well, code switching usually is not subconscious, or it's like you're making a deliberate choice to like change yourself to have people perceive you like more professionally or whatever. So I guess that's not a good term. Whatever term would mean like just when you naturally like have different
Yeah, I mean, we talk about
walls
this a lot,
or
yeah.
masks when you're around certain people.
It's also like different culture. Like when I feel like we have a very specific culture with like specific inside jokes. And
Yeah.
stuff
There's
like
family
that.
culture, then there's friend culture.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would want to experience it. Since I never have experienced like taking a true vacation, like a break from my current life at home, and just with that, whatever, just me feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it still feels like vacation, obviously, but I'm just one part of me.
But it's not vacation
yeah.
from the family culture.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was thinking about that the other day.
I think it sounds intriguing, especially for a young person. I feel like at this age, everything's such a routine, So I don't know, maybe that'd be a good reason to do it. I don't know. I feel like the times that when I've had vacations by yourself, that's almost like a solo vacation because our whole lives we've had kids,
Right.
like whatever, and or bigger families or what have you. So it's kind of like a semi-solo vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a duet,
Yeah.
which is different because you guys don't, get that many multiple days, full days by just the two of
Right,
yourselves.
yeah, yeah.
So it's a break from your family.
Yeah, and we,
in that way.
we usually never even, I guess it's hard to believe, but we don't even squabble or whatever. It's usually pretty nice. You should see us when you guys are around.
Yeah, I was thinking about asking that when you were talking, Michael, about you two going on trips and stuff. I was vaguely curious what the difference of the energy is, and if you do different types of things. I imagine probably not so much, just the lack of our very loud energies is probably enough, but...
Yeah, well, I feel like when you're with a bunch of, like the whole family, then you have a lot of people to satisfy, or whatever, not in a bad way, but, you have more, like even, like trying to decide what we're going to eat last night.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything. So when it's just two people, that's just, fewer people to make the decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And we have
and to change the decisions. Sorry, Michael. But yeah, so like if we're in the middle of doing something, we'll say, let's do that. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to stay so on your regular. Although we do, we usually have a plan of what we're doing and do it. Usually leave very early, come back very late, and fall asleep.
Yeah. What are you about to say?
Oh, just that we have the same interests and things, they're planned. So we know we want to do hiking, we're going to start this presidential library visit. So
Mm-hmm.
if we go to a place that has a presidential library, we're going to visit that.
Yeah.
We know what we like to eat
Mm-hmm.
or don't like to eat. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot when you have more people to consider, but I felt like we've had a pretty good flow of making decisions between the five of us. Hopefully, speak up if that's the case, but hopefully no one's feeling like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I guess but when I used the word satisfied, I didn't mean it like,
To consider.
Yeah.
You have more
right.
people to consider.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
No, not everyone's going to be satisfied.
That's why I thought like being solo would be a very stark change for me, because I'm usually I'd rather someone else make an
a
adventure for
decision.
me to
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah.
Sure.
So like
Right.
me having to carve out or just decide like what do I want to do?
Yeah,
Because
literally.
usually I just want to
Coast.
latch onto someone else's idea and
Yeah.
experience that in my own way.
Yeah.
I'm obviously very opinionated about what I spend my time doing, which is why
you are? I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, well, what do you think about that, Michael? I feel like the two of us have been making most of the decisions, and hopefully don't feel steamrolled by that. I feel like I'm happy
no,
to
He likes a
get
challenge.
things going.
You contributed things, very well. No,
Alright, we can talk about it after we turn the camera off.
No, you really added to to help keep things moving along.
Yeah.
And what?
What are these side conversations?
Can we have some water?
Yeah.
So no, I think
You said we?
I meant like this side of the couch.
it's been a very good trip with
Yeah. Jacob, how do you feel about decision making?
whose water bottle was that?
It looks like
Oh,
a fire
yeah.
hydrant.
No, whose water bottle was this?
Sean's. Or mine. That's
It says a couple bad words on it.
Yeah, this is yours.
that's
Mine.
Sean.
Okay.
Oh, why is it?
Were you gonna?
Michelle, the bottom.
Were you gonna? Were you gonna like punish me?
I could use some water. What, you guys like factory farming? Discuss.
I didn't see what it said.
You didn't even see what it said?
I just okay. Okay, now.
What?
Okay.
We're gonna have to blow that
Factory
one
farming
out.
is...
Can we do that? Blur out.
I don't know how to do that.
Can we do that?
Someone can.
I'm sure we could figure it out, but we're not going to. Sean, you asked me how I feel. I feel.
About what?
I just asked you how you feel.
You're about to.
I asked how do you approach decision making? Would you rather people... Are you on Shannon's side of the fence or on my side
kind
of the fence?
of. I wouldn't.
Not
say
that I don't like other people leading the way, I do. If it's something
Yeah.
that I want to do.
You're just kind of yang, and we're just kind of yin.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what oh, I mean,
Yeah.
there's plenty of ways I'm yin, but on this particular
Yeah, I'm saying
conversation,
on when it comes to
And,
curating a vibe.
and this way, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm more yin, but like, if like need be, I could like make a decision. But like,
I just wonder if it was something
Right,
you spent time
respond to-
thinking of.
yin is
You're
more
yang.
of a
the rest of it are yin.
like
What?
not submissive, but like passive.
Yeah, like
Okay, yin is passive. Yang is
masculine, feminine, but I don't like to use those words because people conflate them with gender. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it's someone like that wants
Mars,
to,
Venus.
for instance,
So
like active versus receptive.
Mm.
You know?
So like
So yin is
one
receptive.
force would
Yes,
be.
Correct.
So you're saying I'm not yin?
I didn't say anything about you at all.
Shannon said you're
I
very
will
more-
say
Yeah, you're
that.
very-
I'll go ahead and say
yeah.
that. In
Active.
some ways, but in
I mean, even on the decision making, if I suggest something, it's not like you're not receptive to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh no, I'm very laid back.
I'm super chill. I'm
Personally,
just a chill guy.
people have told me this many times.
Michelle, did you just the other
You
day
are chill.
tell me I'm very laid back? And
I don't remember it, sure.
like if someone wants to do something, I'll
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
You
We're
can be
saying
receptive
that.
in that way.
It's just
Yeah.
funny.
like
Oh, you're a
going
good
to
time
places.
shot.
Yeah, good time shot.
Good time chalk.
Anyway,
Good time, Mike.
and to preface it before you go on and ramble about it,
Sure.
I mean, you're also young, you know. So as someone who's like living with their parents and stuff, and like been a kid their entire lives, like you don't have a lot of autonomy to make decisions for yourself a lot of times
Yeah.
as the default. So I haven't even really started thinking in terms of this stuff. And I guess in like my first relationship, because we were very indecisive about like what do you want to do, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, so those are the domains that type of thing has come up for me. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I was curious if you already oriented yourself and had any thoughts about the topic.
No, yeah, I think I'm typically more on the like receptive side, and this specific dynamic, I think it's also very easy for us to, like we've built up that it is important for all of us to communicate where we're coming from, or like communicate
Yeah, in the
Well-
last week we've been
what's on our mind.
cultivating that.
But like, I think, like, because usually it's not like, I mean, Dad, his go-to isn't like, okay, here's this one thing and everyone has to do it. It's he gets a bunch of things and like presents a bunch of options, so I still have a voice in that sense, and I still feel like I'm still making a decision, and like I still think my voice is heard. I think we do that as a group very well. It's very
Well, also like Sean,
collaborative
you know,
in that way.
the family dynamic, you know, does I mean, and that kind of goes back to just not necessarily habit, but you know, like where our comfort zone is as a family.
Yeah, the gravity.
Yeah, and I think that Jacob, as you get older, you'll probably be, you know, like right now, you're always going to be the youngest. That's never going to change. But you know, as you mature, you may have the tables might turn a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll have more of a sample set of exercising different skills with different people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be showing up to the family in the ways that I have been if I had only spent time with you guys all my life. You know what I mean? Like, we learn from other people and
Right.
by being in different dynamics. And to bring it back to travel, like, I think that that's like part of the value in that. I haven't done a lot of solo travel, but I've gone to like a festival by myself, and then, you know, I mean, the three of us have talked about this a bunch, about the whole, you know, wearing a different mask and being very hyper aware of how I turn into a older, less mature version of myself when I'm with my family, because I was younger and less mature when I
Met you guys.
was an infant through, you know what I mean? The time spent in the family is obviously when we're immature. So I mostly through Lucas and Amanda, they've been encouraging me to.
Shout out Lucas
Shout
and
out
Amanda.
Amanda.
Yep.
What's that?
Shout
Shout
out
them out.
Lucas and Amanda.
Oh yeah. Anyway, they are big proponents for traveling solo, and I haven't actually done any of that, and other than like going to a festival by myself. But Amanda's big thing is that like that it's a way of making change in her life. That like when she's going through big changes, a lot of times that's coincides with going on a big trip by herself, and then it's like a way of exiting the fishbowl of normal routine, which we're all routine beings, you know, we all have our routines, that's how we operate. So to take a break from that, just to have some space to like even access a different version of ourselves, or reflect on how things have been going by, again, you know, getting
out
on
of
the
our
outside of it.
routine,
Yeah. So that said, it's very much out of my comfort zone too. And you know, when I was having those discussions with them, when they're encouraging that of me, I was like, it just doesn't even sound fun. Like, I'm such a squad person. Like, I love having
Same.
a group, you know, and that group could be 2 people. You know, I would rather go do something with one other person. But I've done that too many, many times, and I do recognize that that's too is still a group, and it's really hard for me to have any desire, or sometimes I do have the desire, but I don't have the energy or motivation to talk to people outside of my squad. You know, to make friends with strangers. Michael, you're great at doing that. You know, I've never had to do that, but if you show up somewhere by yourself, if you want to, you could talk to no one, and maybe that will be a good time. But you know what I mean, like that. That's kind of like, well, you know, swim or sink at that point, right?
Yeah.
I think you were reaching for that began this week when you kept saying you need to find someone that owns a boat. So you wanted
And we did. We had to pay a
so
little
you
bit of
wanted
money,
to
but
find
it's fine.
someone, you know, a stranger that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where might you be able to practice this? Reaching, meeting someone.
Do you want to take 2 on setting me up for that? Yeah. Well, yeah. Thankfully, I'm going to be able to practice that this weekend in New Orleans, and that'll be fun. And we can do a reflection on that once it's happened. But yeah, I think that pretty much answers the question of what's appealing about that. Also, New Orleans is just fun town.
Yeah.
You know, so I look forward to going back there. But yeah.
And you had mentioned like your goal, besides perhaps meeting new people and reaching, getting out of your comfort zone. But looking at the different part of NOLA, that's New Orleans, Los Angeles, Louisiana. And, no, in case you didn't know, when I went to there for a conference, NOLA, I didn't know that NOLA stood for New Orleans, Louisiana. Because NOLA was everywhere. Like, I didn't know it. So
I don't know the
Anyway.
piece of
Now you know it.
Yeah.
anyway, you talked about the voodoo culture. What do you have to
and
learn?
that's definitely side quest material. I don't know how successful I'll be in cracking that code, but yeah, I mean, just like even anywhere you go, like there's the, what we're talking about, like, is gravity, like the gravity with the family, like where the grooves have been, what part of the mountain has been skied down before, there's tracks, and now if you fall into, you know what I mean, you're gonna find that groove, the gravity of how things have gone before, when you show up in a town, like the gravity is tourist stuff, and like in New Orleans specifically, it's like, a big
Alcohol.
drinking music scene, and I experienced that the last time I was there, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm sure I'll engage with that again. But it's like every town has like an you know what I mean, an underground aspect.
Right,
of
but the
it.
underground is also, I think, not necessarily touristy, but I think, New Orleans is known for the mystic, voodoo.
It's
those
not
things,
secret.
so it's still
or
going to
anything.
be not
But
touristy,
again-
but I mean, you're going to find shops that sell,
right.
the dolls that you can put pins in and
Exactly,
all that kind of stuff.
but again, layers. Like you're right. That's not a secret about the town, but there's the tourist like level 1 access to it. Which is going to be the commercial aspect of it, selling tarot cards and crystals and stuff like that. Tours, museums and stuff like that. But then there's like people who might actually have access to deeper culture. Maybe that deeper culture is already packed up and left by now. You know what I mean? Like it could just be a ruins of, or whatever, pet cemetery of the culture that was once there. I don't know. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to find some more underground culture there and stuff like that. Find people that are doing cool things, rather than just like touristy stuff's fun too.
Right. Cool.
It's different. So yeah, those are my intentions for that. I mean, I really wanted to go out there and busk, but since I won't, I mean, I will. I'll take the ukulele out, but I'd like to have my full amp, microphone level set up. So that'll be next year. But yeah, where do you think you would go if you did something like that, Jim?
I have no idea.
I mean, just camping by yourself for a weekend
Yeah.
in the city. Just taking little retreats. I think it's really helpful. My mom specifically, like, you mentioned that you've always lived with a big family. You've never lived alone. Like, yeah, it's never too late to, take a retreat for yourself and just
Right.
like.
I don't feel a real desire to. That's
Yeah.
not to say next week I might feel differently, but I've never, like if I were going to take a break from it all, right now I feel like I would prefer to do that with someone that I'm close to.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go on a trip together.
Yeah.
Just 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's breaking it up
That's
too.
a good idea. That's so sweet.
Yeah, because I mean, there's the culture of family, and then all of the little subsets. Like how many times have we all hung out just as group or pairs? I mean.
Well, me and Mom have had our nightly porch time out there.
Yeah.
This trip, I mean.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Comic-Con, Comic Expo. That's our little
That
Date.
getaway every year.
Yeah, that's great.
True.
Cool. Anybody else have any prompts they want to throw, or shall we wrap up?
Wrap up what? I just thought we were having a family conversation.
Well,
Is this
Wait,
being
is
recorded?
the camera?
I have to pee, so
Yeah, that's what I was.
wrap
I
up
know this is
the
being
current
recorded.
setup. We could hop back in for another round, switch seats and stuff.
Make it look like a different day.
Get you
Yeah.
close.
No, that was a great conversation.
This was fun.
Um,
I think that's AI generated.
I like this.
That's rude.
We already have homework assignments. Shannon and I are gonna look for
That's true.
Amazing Race in
It's not
some
an
city close by.
assignment. It's a
No, we're gonna do it so we can report back
To
on
our
part 2 of
fans.
this.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I wanted to speak on that. I think that would be a really worthy side quest for everybody to get motivated to get more active. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on TikTok lately about how important muscle mass is, and like the way that our bodies process glucose and like things like that, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just aware of how much of an inactive lifestyle I've had for decades, and that's just another shadow of the way that we've separated ourselves from the natural world. No other animals just sit around and are on the computer all day, or you know what I mean, or whatever.
or don't like go out and get their food themselves.
Exactly.
By hunting.
Yeah. They know their animals DoorDash or have mega marts that they can go reap the spoils from. Huh?
DoorDash is good next.
You're gonna send them out to go get it for us?
No, how people.
I thought you meant our next move for today.
No.
Oh, we're gonna need the hurricane special.
The other day, just Shane brought up how someone, wasn't it you? Yeah, that someone would DoorDash for, what was it, a donut at.
Oh, no, like the cookie
an
company.
icing?
Shout out
A cookie from
company.
the cookie
They
company.
would DoorDash one cookie or just one icy.
But the cost that they're paying
Yeah.
to get that DoorDashed is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, and that's fine if you have it, spend it, but the cost that we're all paying for having, extra billions of cars out, making all these extra runs, and Amazon, biggest, target for that. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Convenience is convenient, but nothing is free,
That could be our next.
Yeah, so anyway,
Yeah.
that's a little
Yeah.
next time on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Should we?
Well, I usually end with asking if anyone has a, what, hold hands?
No.
Might as well.
If anyone has well, usually I talk to one other person, and I'll say, I like to wrap up my episodes by giving an opportunity to mention anything that came up in this conversation that you'd like to highlight, specifically something that could be like a action step, a reminder that we can take into our life,
Homework.
and or something that you wanted to say that you didn't get a chance to say.
Something that resonated with me a lot was, you mentioned it like 5 seconds ago, but like just being more active in the world. That's something specifically today I was feeling very cold today, like this morning. I don't know why, but like I very frequently convince myself that I don't have enough to start doing what I want to start doing, but I do. I really do, and I just need to have the right mindset of it. And
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I'd like
that's the key.
Just do it.
Yep.
But I mean,
Yeah.
just doing it is yes, but also I think a deeper thing to remember is that don't believe everything that your brain is telling you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We know that exercise is good for us, but the lazy mind that wants to keep the gravity stable is always going to think of reasons not to do a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think remembering that it actually feels good to do something that's uncomfortable
Yeah, for sure.
is a skill to give that muscle some reps.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain.
Getting out of your comfort zone was the other
Yeah,
big thing that
yeah.
I would highlight.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Anybody else?
Maybe just that kind of just do it, but in a different way. There's other side quests that I have that are actually just side quests that are just small things that I have perfect access to, that I just need to do. I don't need to, but I want to, and I don't know why I haven't.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if there's side quests, then there's less of a. Your life doesn't depend on it, but like, what is the reward? You know, that's why we do side quests for the extra experience and for the rewards that we're gonna get out of them. You know.
Are you still doing that yoga place? Because you said you really enjoyed that.
No, but that's not. I mean,
Yeah.
I meant like more like a couple collaborative creative processes with my friends, a couple little projects.
Yeah. Cool.
Go on.
I didn't have anywhere to go.
Or did you have something that you resonated from this conversation? If you did, then you did. That you love your family and you love travel.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. Thanks,
Well,
Al.
I mean, yeah, I like. This is definitely out of my comfort zone to even be sitting here doing this. So.
True.
What, talking with these fools?
No, like having a podcast about. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably not
I'll
even
tell you
recording.
Microsoft.
That would-
Okay, we're done.